Hello, I am Belladonna Nightshade. As you all know, the day-to-day grind can be quite depressing. To cheer you up, I have some more vampire jokes. Hey, this is strange. I don't know what is happening. I tell ya, as a vampire I get no respect. Absolutely no respect at all. I went to a costume party as myself, and they gave the scariest prize to a guy in a bedsheet. I got a job at a haunted house, and they fired me for not being spooky enough. See? I told you, no respect. None at all. Then my castle mates. Those are some real winners, I tell you. I told them. I'm a night person, and they said, yeah, 'cause the sun can't stand you either. I was feeling really low, so I went to the blood bank, and they told me my type is O negative, and unwanted. No respect, I tell you. It doesn't get any better when I travel. Not one bit. I went hunting last night, and the villagers didn't even bother with torches. They just threw garlic bread at me. That hurts, I tell you. No respect anywhere to be found. No respect at all. Oh, I'm back again. I'm not quite as animated now. I hope you enjoyed the jokes and you have a most wonderful day.
Hello. Hi. It's Belladonna Nightshade. Here we go. We're going to start another stream. Thanks, everyone, for joining. It's wonderful. Let's see. I've got Alan here. I got Tom. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Alan. Philip. Philip was here. Are you still here, Philip? Well, see, this was a weird 24 hours. I mean, like, you know, I couldn't help but call this a WTF. Like, what the hell happened these last 24 hours? You know, throwing throwing missiles at Qatar. Then it was over. Then there's a ceasefire, and then Iran is still throwing missiles at Israel, and you have that where it hit that apartment building and 4 people were killed. I was like, wow, what? And then Israel was pissed, so they started fighting that. The whole thing was weird. And then Trump is saying, it's over, stop. It's basically my ceasefire, you stop, all of you stop. That was, I don't know, what the hell was that? What was that all about? Does anyone have any ideas? Because that was crazy. There's not much else happening otherwise, but that was bizarre. Just how this supposedly ended. So, I'm taking that now it's over? Or at least for a while, because it's only a ceasefire. And Trump's saying he's calling it the 12-day war. Still rather one-sided, no matter what Iran did to Israel, it still was rather one-sided. Let's see here. I got this one video. Okay. This is somebody I don't often feature. I thought, here, let me get my BLC player ready. I thought he had an interesting point. It's Steve Bannon, of all people. So let me play this, and let's see what you think. They don't see eye to eye, yeah, or any other place of the body. Nah. Now, especially somebody that says that their whole purpose is to destroy you. So, okay, so let me play Steve Bannon here, and then we can get a discussion going. See what you think about what he has to say about this whole affair.
Yesterday they took this ceasefire was as much to save Israel. That's the hidden story here. They bit off way more than they could chew. They were played out as far. Yesterday was a brutal day for the citizens of Israel. Took horrible incomings, particularly in Tel Aviv, and I guess Beersheba also. they needed this because they were running out of defensive ammunition. And President Trump stepped in there with the help of Qatar. Look, we've come a long way since 7 years ago when Qatar, would not work with us on stopping the financing of Islamic terrorism, the financing of it. And they come a long way. They've stepped in the middle of the situation in Gaza, and they stepped in the middle here, and President Trump is going out of his way to praise them. And he's not going out of his way to praise Netanyahu's government, which I think is getting to be an issue.
So, yeah, I thought that's an interesting point of view because, obviously Iran needs a ceasefire, consolidate things. But, yeah, I think Israel did too, So, yeah, if you can, let me know what you think about that point of view. And I'll give you a few moments, to chat, to say something in the chat. Meanwhile, let me show you some of the pictures of Beersheba or Sheba. It's either Sheba or Shiva. I don't know. But let's see. Here's some of the pictures. Oh, okay, here's one. Yeah, that's at an apartment building. And let's see, what else I got? This kind of outside in the street. Not much to see there on that one anyways. And okay, that's not that good. Yeah, this is that building again. Here's another view of it. There we go. And 4 people died in that case. So yeah, I think in this, I really do think that Steve Bannon, and he's a political U.S. commentator. And he was jailed during the Biden administration for contempt of Congress, because they wanted to, do one of those stupid things with him. And he had to go to prison for 6 months. And of course, he couldn't just go to a low security prison. Nah, they had to put him in a pretty bad one. But yeah. And technically, that whole ceasefire was weird. So technically, Israel had another 6 hours or so that they could have kept bombing and still did part of the ceasefire. So yeah, very weird, very weird. This is a good video, and it shows you a ballistic missile coming down. It just gives you the idea of just the force. This isn't no special ballistic missile. It's a regular one, but they caught it on here. I'll play that again. No. What? I missed that. Why is it not showing up very well? Maybe I missed that. Darn it. Let me try one more time. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that, but I had a clip where it just shows the missile coming down very clearly, and you just barely see it strike. So that was supposed to be it. Okay, now I have this over here. Oh, yeah, this is of course the aftermath. Somebody lived in one of those apartments. Very sad. So that was that. And what else did I see? I saw on the news today where, let's see if I can find it. Where, Ismail Qaani, he's supposed to be the Quds Force commander in Tehran. He attended the celebrations, but he was supposed to have been dead. So, so a lot of the crap we've been hearing hasn't been true, apparently. So, might have been poor radio comms. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I don't know, Alan. So, but yeah, so that's that. And like I said, this all seemed to end very, very weirdly. So, a big surprise. And then how Trump's acting. So, it makes you kind of wonder, is there some kind of play going on? Is this just, of course, because it's a ceasefire, is this supposed to help Israel get stocked back up? Are the Iranian people supposed to overthrow the regime? There doesn't seem to be any sign of it happening. So, very, very, very odd. I was, yeah, I guess this is the word, where flabbergasted comes to mind. Yeah, I didn't understand what's happening, what all these twists were and everything, and, it was very weird. I didn't expect it to end this way, that's for sure. So, I have a little bit of UK news, and maybe somebody can speak up, if you're from the UK, because I imagine you heard about it already. Here's a picture. This is in Manchester in the UK, and this is an old textile mill that goes way back. So it's one of the older buildings still in the city of Manchester. And today there was this horrible fire. So here's another picture. Yeah. Just terrible. And I got some video of it. So, anybody wants to speak up and if they know more about this? So as you can imagine, it was a total loss. I think you even have let's see, do I have an afterwards picture? I'll have to find that. It had been, my understanding had been used for, like for printing, not as a textile mill, but as printing, and even that's been for a while. And let's see, I do not have a afterwards picture, but yeah, it's a complete loss. Here's a picture during the fire. You could see what looks like, I guess these are wooden beams. If you can see below there, yeah. So, total loss. And usually a lot of cases like this, if it's the United States, it would be because there'd be a bunch of indigent in there, and they just start a fire and burn it down. But another reason too is to clear it out for new development. So, a lot of times you won't know. They'll have, oh, here's after the fire. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Yeah, all gone. 19th century, mill. Textile mill. That is. Yeah, all gone. So, and Alan says we are getting a lot of unexplained fires. So Alan, what happens in the UK? Do you have problems where the homeless start living in abandoned houses, or is that not a big problem in the UK? Because that's what would happen in the US. So, and then somebody could always pay a homeless to in the United States to burn it down anyways. If somebody wants to. And let's see. To clear out an area especially. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of stories today. I got one more, and this one is just disgusting. It's Disneyland, and I think I didn't check it out, but we'll see. I'm thinking it's Florida's Disneyland or Disney World, but we'll see. It could be California, but just wait till you hear it. It's so disgusting and bizarre. So here, I'll go ahead and play it. And Alan says drug gang wars. Okay. Is it also to clear out the territory so they can use it for something else that they're hoping to? Because some of these drug gangs have a lot of money, so they can invest in development, I would imagine. So yeah, let me know, Alan. So let's play this one. Just watch. Again.
A British man arrested in France for trying to marry a 9-year-old girl at Disneyland Paris is a known paedophile who's on the run from UK justice.
Disneyland
the man
Paris.
had paid £115,000 to hire out a part of the site early in the morning before the park opened. But staff were shocked when the 39-year-old turned up to the wedding with a Ukrainian child, her family, and around 100 guests for an alleged pretend wedding ceremony. Employees didn't know in advance that the bride was a 9-year-old girl and quickly shut it down. The entire event was due to be broadcast live on social media, with actors recruited to play family members. One of the actors who was hired said everyone was stunned when they realised what was happening. It was all very shocking.
Holy crap! What? So it's Disneyland Paris. I should have paid more attention, but a pervert decides he got a. I know. Tom's saying what? Yeah. Do you see why I called it a WTF stream? What the heck? What the heck? So he wanted to marry what was it? 9-year-old Ukrainian girl with his with their family there. So he paid them, and he's already a known PDF file. What? Here, I'm just gonna play the beginning again. What?
A British man arrested in France for trying to marry a 9-year-old girl at Disneyland Paris is a known paedophile who's on the run from UK justice. The man had paid £115,000 to hire out a part of the site early in the morning before the park opened. But staff were shocked when the 39-year-old turned up to the wedding with a Ukrainian child, her family, and around 100 guests.
What? It's all a paid event, apparently. Even the so-called guests were paid to be there. The actors were paid to be there. And he's supposed to be a known PDF file, and he's from the UK. I mean, he could be living in France too, but known. There's known PDF files that are on the streets. Oh, this is crazy. So, yeah, so this is like, holy crap. And then it's supposed to be an event that they're going to show on social media and stuff. It's just, wow. I don't know. This world is, it's just bizarre, isn't it? I just can't believe stuff like this. And, wow, so, what can you say about it? Yeah, Tom. Tom says, why didn't they identify the guy he's wanted? What? Why are all these PDF files running around like they do? Like in the United States, And then they say crap about, oh, well, they served their time. No, they didn't. They didn't die, so they didn't serve their damn time or their punishment they deserve. Then they let them out, and then they reoffend. Oh, it's crazy. Just crazy. Oh, man. So, the guy has apparently got money on top of it, so you can just imagine what he makes his money off of. Jeez. Yeah, this is one that makes you shake your head. Just shake your head and everything. And there seems to be so much. During the Biden years, Disney seemed to be promoting this crap so much. They were promoting the trans stuff so heavily and everything. Yeah, so hard. And the CEO of Disney is still all behind that crap. So it's just amazing. And it always seems to come back to Disney, and these people all want to be there. And, so, yeah. Anyone else have anything to say that they want to say about that? How about what's going on today? You're welcome to comment on anything that's happening in the news. I saw, let's see. It sounded ominous, but let's see. I think it was on. Let me go here. Let me find it. Just the way they worded this for the UK. They had the Prime Minister, Gabby Keir Starmer, denies he's facing a confidence vote. Okay, no, it wasn't that. It's they had some kind of study, and the UK must actively prepare for a potential war in the homeland. They had a review, and it warns. Oh, Tom said impeachment. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Yeah, okay. But in the UK, they had another study or something, preparing for war in the homeland. It sounds so ominous. I mean, who would they be fighting in the homeland? Who in the homeland is going to attack the UK? I don't know. That sounded. They were talking about possible invaders or something. Yeah, BS. That just sounds so ominous to me. So just the way they word things, really weird. And then Tom says, impeachment again. Yeah, Tom, I heard a little bit. There was Jasmine Crockett, who's that Democrat loudmouth from Texas. Yeah. He's on his own, that guy. Oh, who are you talking about, Alan? Do you mean Starmer? Is it Starmer is on his own? Yeah, too many people are still supporting that guy. But as far as the impeachment goes, Jasmine Crockett was calling for it. I heard something about a vote. Yeah, Alan says Starmer, yeah. I heard something about that. Most of the Dems were against it, though. So, I mean, they're not in power. They're not in power. They can't do anything about it. You know? It's blah, 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 blah. And what were they going to impeach him over? For bombing Iran? They didn't impeach Obama for bombing Yemen, Afghanistan, and all the other countries he bombed. And he bombed American citizens. They're traitors, obviously, but yeah. Al Green. Oh, Al Green is so funny. Mr. Pimp Daddy. Yeah, he's down there with Jasmine Crockett Rocket, isn't he? I mean, aren't they both from around Houston? Yeah, if you ever get a chance, U.S. Representative Al Green, he looks like Mr. Pimp Daddy himself. He's quite a character. In David James ad, do you think Starmer will be Prime Minister for the next 4 years? Or will he be replaced? Well, I'll give you my opinion as a Yank, David. My opinion would be, does it really matter? Because they're all awful. The way all those labor people are awful. Damn communists. Let's face it. I mean, what, are you gonna get David Laney? Do you imagine him as Prime Minister? Well, he should get laughs, lots of laughs. Who else are you gonna put there? The Ginger Growler? Maybe Yvette Cooper? Boy, she gives me creeps. Man, I don't think she has any human feelings at all, Yvette Cooper. So, all I have to say is, as long as Labor's in power, you're screwed. I'm sorry. You're screwed. Hey, and you know these people better than a Yank does. So, what's your thought, David? What's your thought about that? That's how I feel. So, Alan says, 100 plus Labor rebels. So do you think you're going to take Starmer down, Alan? Let's see. And Tom says 120 Democrats voted against Green. Yeah, he's funny. I like Tip Daddy. Just to laugh at. I don't like how he thinks or anything. But man, if he isn't the underworld world of the pimp world and over there in Houston, I'd be surprised. 'Cause man, he plays the part perfect. And David says, yeah, no feelings at all. I agree. Yeah, Yvette Cooper. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, she's up in the house. And Alice has no idea. It's chaos now. So between you and David and Alan, is that what you're thinking? Is it because they have some votes now to replace Starmer that maybe he is gonna fall? And if he does, okay, whether or not this vote works, if Starmer was to be replaced, who do you suspect that they'd put in his place? Yeah, let's talk about that. Who would they put in his place? Yeah, let's see. Tom says, yeah, talking about Al Green, he is a pimp boy, isn't he? Anything he does or says, yeah, that's funny. I gotta get it up for in my vids. There's some of the clips. So, honey, even you in the UK, you're gonna love Al Green, 'cause picture, if you ever saw the black exploitation movies, from the US in the 1970s, you know, where there's this black crime fighter, and he's all jive, and he's all down in the hood and everything, and he always went to a pimp character, and the pimp character would secretly help him out and find something. Well, that pimp character is Al Green in the flesh. So, yeah, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but those were those black exploitation films. That's what they were called back in the 70s. Oh, yeah, that's Al Green. So let's see. And Burnham returns to House of Commons. So, can you tell me more? Can you tell me more, David? About, is this the person? Or, I'll go look it up. I'll go look it up quickly. So, yeah, Tom says he even has a pimp cane. He's wonderful. He plays the part so well. He probably lives it. So let me look up Burnham. So, yeah, that's a problem with me, David. Being a Yank, I don't know much. Let me look it up. Burnham. And Burnham. Burnham. In the house. Try that. Burnham. No, I got the wrong person. Maybe I should learn how to spell. Maybe it's Burnham. Return to the house. Who is Burnham? Tell me who is Burnham? Maybe somebody I should be looking at. Burnham in the House of Commons. Try that. Give me something here. Help a Yank out. Will ya? Andy Burnham? Okay. Alright, thank you. I think I saw something about him the other day. So, Andrew Murray Burnham. Oh, it's a British politician who has served as mayor of Greater Manchester. He served in Gordon Brown's cabinet, so he had to be a real winner, didn't he? So, let's see. A member of Labour. Okay. So what is your thoughts there? Andy Byrne, mayor of Manchester. So, he's the current mayor, I take it? So, is this the guy? Do you think he's being groomed to take over for Starmer? Because in Manchester, cities like Manchester, there's a lot of the invaders, the new invaders, right? That have taken over. You mean government kind of a lot like London and stuff? So, Labour Mayor Alan says, so is this, how about you, Alan? What do you believe? Do you believe that they may be maneuvering him to be the next prime minister? I can only imagine he's a horrible person. Would there be a reason that labor would make a move like this? I'd really like to hear your opinion, because I wouldn't know. So, let's see, what else? What else does it say here? It's a member of labor co-op. Oh boy. Well, Burnham identifies as a socialist. Oh yeah, of course. And as belonging to the party's soft web. So, being a socialist is to the right of the rest of the people in the labor, I guess. Yeah, because other ones are just straight out communists. I don't know. If you're a communist, you're a socialist too. So, he served as Shadow Home Secretary from 2015 to 2016 and was a member of Parliament for Lay from 2001 to 2017, then became mayor. I got a picture of him here. Let's see, can I copy this picture? Okay. Let's see, copy the picture. Yeah, he looks like, to me, he looks like somebody who should be in the BBC. Oh, let's see, can I get that in here? In there. Damn it. Copy. So I'll save the image instead. Alright, Andy Burnham. So if you hear the stage, you can see who this guy is. Let's see. But yeah, to me, he looks like he should be on the BBC. He looks slimy enough. He looks like a real... Yeah, there's nothing hidden in his clown, no matter what. But I kind of think that's why you're there. To sink it all. And Alan says, labor doesn't usually change leaders. Yeah, that's very true. It's similar here in the U.S. So it was very surprising when they moved on, and basically they had a coup against Biden last summer. When all of a sudden they pushed the VP to replace him. Yeah. So that's unusual, but usually, they stick with him. Thin and thick. I know, I remember when the conservatives were in power, and they just looked the wrong way. Get them out. You had Boris, and then you had May. They got rid of her real quick, and it's just like one after another, and usually it was over not much. Like nothing that the Labour Party would remove their prime minister over. Yeah. And Alan says, I think he's safe for now. Yeah, thanks for thanks for bringing this up. Because, how Andy Burnham. Okay, I'll figure it out. I'll get it right someday. I just looked at him, and I know there's something wrong with this guy. Yeah. How well does he know Starver? Are they like buddies? Certain kind of buddy pal? Does he have Ukrainian rent boys in his, out there ready to burn his properties down? Yeah, at least I can laugh. What happens in the UK? Whenever I think it's bizarre here in the US, I look at him, I go, he should be one of those guys on the giving the news on the BBC, and then we find out, there's some kind of sordid past, some kind of grooming thing going on there, and all of a sudden he has to step down. That's what this guy looks like. I mean, I'm sure as a socialist, he's just a fantastic human being. No sarcasm at all. Yeah. Oh, it's all game, David. David brings up a point. He goes, that was strange given that everyone knew Biden was ill for years ago. Yeah, there was no hiding it. It was just, it's like with me. I know what's like get rid of that arm. It's like with me. I know I'm a puppet, right? I know I'm a puppet. But all these other people, they're no puppets. They're all puppets. They're all playing a game. So is this Andy Burnham. So if they call on him to play a certain part, yeah, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna play a certain part. Yeah, just a puppet on a string, just like me. But I know I'm a puppet. He doesn't. No, of course he knows he's a puppet. But you and I might not know it. They're all puppets. Somebody's pulling their strings. Everybody, there's somebody that's messing with these people. So, and let's see. Poppy Red, thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm talking about crap I don't know anything about. I thank everyone in the UK for teaching me about Andy Burnham. Let's see. Yeah, Poppy Red says, hi and bye. Oh, hi and bye. Okay. Another live at the moment. We'll pop back later. Keep up the great platform. Well, thank you for stopping by, Poppy. Wonderful. Wonderful to see you. And David says, no trial for the Ukrainians until next year. Yeah, get all the emotion down over it. Isn't that what's happening? Yeah. Nobody will remember. We'll move on to something else. I'm sure Keir Starmer will do something else stupid. Just give him a day. Or maybe they'll put this new puppet in, Andy Burnham, and then he'll do stupid puppety things, and we can laugh at that. Oh boy. Oh. I can't help it. It's a crazy world. It seems like ever since 2016 and Harambe died, everything went crazy. That's where I see it. Everything went crazy. And now it says that Rent Boy story has been lost. Yeah, if you're from the United States, rent boys are male prostitutes. Yeah, that's why I made that Pay Up Biatch song. It was over rent boys who were burning down Keir Starmer's properties and former properties. So bizarre. Ukrainian ones at that. Warren says, I'm from Manchester. Oh, can you believe it? Vernon is a scouser from Liverpool. Oh, he's what we would call a carpetbagger in the States, from Liverpool. The two cities are supposed to be at war, but not for labor, apparently. Well, Lawrence, can you tell me, what would Liverpool and Manchester be at war over? I mean, isn't that, aren't both cities where a lot of the immigrants have settled and changed everything? Apparently not for the best. So why would they be at war? Is this a football thing? I didn't say that word right, did I? Scouser? I can't help it. I'm a Yank. I don't get it. I don't care. I do love British idioms. Yeah. The way you say things, I do love it, but I could barely speak English for a Yank. Forget about, getting all the UK stuff down. So, let's see. Yeah, and Lawrence, I talked about earlier. Let's see, where it says football rival. Okay, football rival. But we're neoliberal in Manchester, Labour, and they are a socialist republic. Yeah, because I looked at Andy Burnham's little bio there, and it said, yeah, he's an outright socialist. So, what the hell? Okay. Yeah. It'll work someday, right, guys? Someday the socialism will work. I don't know. Even when you got an infinite money press, it doesn't work. So, yeah, whatever. I don't get it. So, let's ask Lawrence. Lawrence, they were suggesting, both Alan and David were suggesting that potentially, this Andy Burnham could be a replacement for Starmer when they finally get rid of him. What's your thoughts? And if not Burnham, who do you think, if they do and when they do get rid of Starmer, who do you think they would replace him with? Merseyside. So Warren says, People's Republic of Merseyside always vying for independence. Any thoughts on the fat jabs on the NHS? So National Healthcare System? So what is this? I take it your national health. I might have read something about it. They're planning to pay for those, that medicine. They cost like, over here in the States, it costs like $1,200 a month. You know, and then I got a feeling there's gonna be some awful side effects from this, over the years. Yes, in Game of Thrones since King of Why, Andy's gonna make himself King of the North? Is he gonna live behind the ice wall? Turn Scotland maybe into an ice wall. And then rule from there until he brings back down the horde of the angry and hungry monsters. Scottish monsters to invade the English countryside. That would be funny. So, yeah, it's crazy. And, oh yeah, that was about a month ago. I heard something about your national healthcare system. It might have been Starmer himself saying, yeah, they wanted to get on board with paying for those fat shots. You know, it's all corruption, don't you? They only do this stuff is because you're gonna get kickbacks. That's what all the green energy and crap is about. It's all about corruption and kickbacks to bribe jobs, overseas bank accounts. Same thing in the U.S. Same thing. They make all these laws and stuff, and it turns out members of Congress have family members that are running some of these drug companies that make some of these drugs and stuff. It's so terrible. So, Ward says, I get the fat jabs of the pill form on the Spanish healthcare system because I have type 2 diabetes. Starmer is Lannister. And Jordan Snow, what's his trouble? So I'm taking it that Lawrence, you believe that he could be a good likely replacement. And Lady Pip says, hello, sorry I'm so late. Well, you didn't miss too much, Lady Pip, but we're having an outright talk, and people are trying to get my mind around some of the British politics. So maybe you can join in, Lady Pip. So, our talk devolved around this gentleman, Andy Burnham. So, apparently, there's some fires going on in your Labour government to, maybe replace Starmer. And so, here to chat, number of the David, Lawrence, and Alan have chimed in, and they told me about this Andy Burnham, who's the socialist mayor in Manchester. I found out a lot of stuff I didn't know today, and so they're putting forward that if and when Starmer gets replaced, that Andy Burnham here might be a good candidate. So what's your thoughts on that, Lady Pip? And Lady Pip says Starmer is on his way out. And Laura says, you don't know the redhead. Yeah, oh no, I seen Angela Rayner. The ginger growler. Yeah, I heard that nickname. Oh man, so what do you say? She is the favorite to succeed him. Oh my god, she talks like a retard. I asked everyone, because when I hear Angela Rayner, I go, does she have a split, a cleft palate or something? She's atrocious. How can anyone stand her? So So, Ward said she's your favorite to succeed in. She left school with no qualifications. That makes her qualified to be a labor leader. And it was a teen mother twice. Well, I guess you can relate to a lot of women in the UK, a single mother and everything. So, I don't know. She has a constituency, right? That's what politics is about. There's a constituency. Intel Lady does a great. I'll have to check that out. Rainier impression, but do you know what I'm talking about? A cleft palate and the way she talks, like her tongue doesn't have anything to rest against, to speak out phonetically. That's what I hear. When I hear Angela Rayner. If you're from the States, type her in and try to find a video, listen to her talk. So, and Lawrence Drury said she's a true working class Manchurian. Manchurian or I don't know what a Mancunian is. That's an authentic access from the city, not Barnum. What is she also from Manchester? Oh man, like I said, when I hear her speak, I don't think lower class or anything. I just think stupid, you know. Yeah, I think a problem. I think there's a problem there. But boy, it's like there has to be a problem. You know, something's going on there. You catch it from Manchester. Okay, well, one thing you're not going to do is, I don't know much about UK football. I know what we call in the U.S. football. I'm not into that either, but, it should be called handball, I guess. What we do in the U.S. should be called handball, because they got their hands on the ball for most of the time. So, yeah. But, yeah, I've heard of Manchester United. I heard of, you have all your rivalries between cities. But it used to be you'd all get together, afterwards. But, so, but her and Starmer hate each other. And of course she's in his government. But I gotta say, I would think it would be hilarious if she became the next prime minister. And then everyone slowly, anyone that's paying attention, like in the U.S., would be, what the hell is this? We would love it in the U.S. He pointed cliffs and everything. This is now the prime minister. Yeah. It says she enjoys tasteful clothing. Yeah, if total trash is tasteful. Yeah, she's the queen of trashiness. Oh boy. So yeah, I do know a little bit about her. I've been checking her out. And oh boy. Yeah, she is a human train wreck. and just like me now, just another puppet, just another puppet. Whatever Starro's gonna do, she'll do. So, Lady Tip says, no. There'll be so many more wives. No matter who's in, they're gonna do whatever the other one was gonna do, and there's no changing course unless they change course for the worse. Maybe you get Cooper in there. Man, I think she'd like to get the troops out in the streets and really beat some indigenous heads. That woman's a monster. So, let's see. And David James says, I stopped watching Coronation Street when Hilda Ogden left. Is that a show I should watch? I'll check it out. I don't watch anything. I used to love watching BBC shows and everything. And I don't know, about 20 years ago, I stopped watching. So, I'm not any of the current shows. I had no idea what's going on, because I turn it on. It's just far leftist crap. Propaganda. Just trying to lecture you, but I stopped watching American television back in the late 70s. You know, because it was so obvious propaganda to me that they were trying to use television to change the way everyone thinks. It was so obvious to me. And, forget about the 80s and the 90s. So, yeah, when it comes to television, I'm a bore, but I'm so glad that I didn't watch that crap. Let's see. And Warren says she's their left wing. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the left wing? I don't know. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene has more brains than Angela Rayner. I mean, you don't have to have much, a little more brain power. A little bit more. I can listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene and understand her. Oh, get that Cliff Pallet operated on, will you? You idiot. Oh, you should. They could cure that, He just said, I went to the DDC with some friends to do some spell casting. Wonderful. Oh, wonderful. So, Lady Pip, are you a witch? I know a little bit of magic. I'm a little bit magical. Yeah, it's very dark though. Very dark. What? Tell me what? Can you tell me the spell? Can you tell me the spell that you cast on the DDC? I mean, if you put a spell for them to fail, how can you tell it's working? It's so terrible. Tom says, NTG is right wing. Yeah, Tom. Lawrence was saying she's the left wing version. So NTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm just trying to picture that. So if you get a chance, Tom, look up Angela Rayner and try to find some videos. And then watch her talk. You got to. Because if they make her prime minister, it's gonna be so funny. She can't talk. She talks like a child, like I said, like a cleft palate, person with a cleft palate. Let's see. Yeah. So, David James says the BBC has a verify unit to ensure that only the Yeah. And that's so true. And it was the same, and it still is the same way in the United States, mainstream media. But, yeah, remember, here in the States, our mainstream media are owned by, billionaires, right? And the billionaires behind the mainstream media, the mainstream media in the U.S. is a loss leader. That's where you, like where a grocery store, at least in the States, this is what they used to do. They would advertise something below their cost and take a loss on it because they wanted to bring more people into the store. Because you buy that one item at a loss, well, maybe you'll buy another 20 items and they'll all work out and it'll be a profit. Well, for billionaires and the corporations, these mainstream media outlets are a loss leader. They lose $100 million on them, but what they do, especially with the old Republicans and old Democrats, what they did was they got tens of billions of dollars of government contracts to make up for it. Because they reported what the CIA, what the FBI, what all the levers behind the power in the United States, they reported that, so they were rewarded handsomely with government contracts. And the biggest and best example you can see is Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon.com. And suddenly, over 10 years ago, he bought the Washington Post and it's super far leftist. And when Trump was first in office, all the lies that were going around about the urine gate and all that crap, and to impeach him. And why? Because he lost maybe 10 million, or even 100 million, but Amazon Web Services. That's where Jeff Bezos makes all his money, is Amazon Web Services. He makes tens of billions of dollars profit. Amazon itself isn't that profitable at all, but Amazon Web Services. And he was rewarded with enormous government contracts. And then also the states too rewarded him too with their server contracts for his server farms. So that's what, in the United States at least, that's why these corporations and these wealthy people own this. It has nothing to do with telling you about news. It never has. Never has. Owning news for the rich was never about telling you the truth. It was to push their agenda. Always was. Long before the internet. So, let's see. Tom says, Marjorie Taylor Greene speaks your mind. Yeah. Well, Angela Rayner, from a puppet point of view, speaks her mind. It just doesn't make any sense. You can't understand it. And Tom says, Lindsey Graham rushed to a local hospital in a critical condition after suffering a ceasefire-related illness. Yeah, he's just a horrible person. If you're in the UK and you don't know who Lindsey Graham is, he's a senator, a U.S. senator from Georgia, a Republican, and he's never led a war, and all the deaths that the war incurs that he didn't like. He's just a horrible person. So we're all hoping that the people of Georgia get rid of him this time, once and for all. Hopefully in what we call our primaries, where the parties choose who's going to run in the elections. So hopefully he gets primary, but he's a horrible person. But Trump right now, he has no choice. Anyone else, you have to work with these people as much as you can at the moment. So, let's see, in 2026, we'll have the elections for House and Senate. So, South Carolina, thank you for correcting me, Tom. Senator from South Carolina. So hopefully people from South Carolina, straighten him out, once and for all. But yeah, he's awful. So thank you, Tom. I should know better. But I'm just a stupid puppet. I can't help it. There's nothing in my head. Nothing going on, nothing in the wrong. Ooh. So, why would he? But he's a listen to me. So, is there anything else that anyone else would like to, bring up? Diane, I'll give you a few seconds. Try to catch up. I'll do a little puppet dance over you. Tom says yes. You what, that I'm dumb, I'm stupid? Yeah, you're right. I sent it in a DM. Let me see. Let me check what you got for me. Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm sorry I got quiet. I'm sorry I got quiet here. Let's see. Bicemere. I never even heard of this place. Okay, I'll read this to you. Maybe I'll put the, let's see. Let me see if this is something I can download. Yeah, I'll go ahead and download it.
But I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles. 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at?
Okay, I don't even know who this person is. This is a WTF matter. So, Okay, thanks for sharing this, Tom. Let's see. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, it's so bizarre. I'm gonna play this for everyone. I think I'll first read what Tom says here. A New York newspaper pushed that there was life on the moon. As a result, people started freaking out. It was just an experiment, but it showed how much control they had. Yes. Yeah, Lady Tip. Yeah, if you understand magic, then a lot of stuff that you see on the media, like mainstream news media, is basically like mind control and stuff. Notice that, of course you're in the UK, you know that more, but you're all pretty smart. So I imagine you know a little bit like about CNN. You occasionally click on that. But CNN, CNN, the news you can trust, you know, and it flashes at you and everything. Yeah, that's all done for control. News, your only news source that you can trust. When they say things like that, it's done deliberately. And why do people get stuck into watching that stuff? It's literally mind control, believe it or not. And let's see. I'll put this up. Okay, let me first read. This is from LA in the United States. And it's so fitting. Okay, this is another, what the heck? You know, WTF, what's going on in this world? Per federal sources, the vice mayor of Cudahy, I never heard of this town before. Cudahy, a city in southeast Los Angeles County, is under FBI investigation after she allegedly posted a video to social media in which she appears to call for 18th Street in Valencia, 13 gang members in LA to defend their territory from ICE, even urging gang leadership to get your freaking, that ain't the word she used, numbers in order. She then deleted this, but she's under federal investigation. Now I'll play the video for you. And just a stupid person in the end, and because not understanding there's certain things you don't post on social media. So here we go.
Not for nothing, but I want to know where all the cholos are
Hold
at
on.
in Los Angeles. 18th Street,
Okay,
Florencia. Where's the leadership at?
Okay, let me make this smaller. Sorry, I'm having another puppet moment. Every moment's a puppet moment for me. Okay, vice mayor. I don't think many places have vice mayors, do they? It'd be totally pointless. Okay, let me start it again.
Not for nothing, but I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles. 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at? Because you guys are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Florencia. You guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you. It's everyone else who's not about the gang life that's out there protesting and speaking up. We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our people. And like, where you at? Bien calladitos, todos los chulitos. I'm like, dude, they're running amok all up on your streets and in your city. And peep, when the big gang guns come in, nothing but like quiet, and we're out here, the regular ones that have never been jumped in, out here calling things out, trying to organize people, trying to do the thing. So don't be trying to claim no block, no nothing. If you're not showing up right now, trying to like help out and organize, I don't want to hear a peep out of you once they're gone, trying to claim that this is my block. This was not your block. You weren't even here helping out. So whoever's the leader.
Okay, I'm gonna shut her up. So she's a vice mayor of some town I never heard of in LA County. And let's see, let's check it out again. Cudahy. I'll put it. Okay, Cudahy. Alright. Let me go ahead and type that in here. I never heard of this. Who did he? Okay. Obviously not something that's important, but in case you don't understand, she's mixing a little Spanish in here. She's calling for, Hispanic gang members, and, gang members didn't necessarily have to be foreigners, a while back. Nowadays, they could totally be, but she's calling on, gang members to come into the town and to fight ICE. Yeah, I know. Just stupid. And she's supposed to be the vice mayor of this droopy little town. So let's see. And Tom says, right, yeah, no problem. Yeah, this is really dumb. But yeah, it just goes with it. I know. Lady Tip says, sorry, 1935 has been dubbed the year moon hoax. Oh, okay. Well, we also had the, what was it, Orson Welles on radio here in the United States. I think that was back in the 30s. We had that. We had the War of the Worlds. And that totally seemed like programming. Things on TV are called program. Yeah, very good. Very good, Lady Pep. I think that's true. Programs because you're programming you. Alan says, what's she on? I know. She's basically calling on the people to fight what ICE is legally supposed to be doing federally, to fight them. It's insurrection, isn't it? It's basically calling for insurrection. And Tom says that's insane. And Tom Flint says 1938. Was that War of the Worlds? Yeah. 96% Latinos? Well, yeah. Well, a lot of those towns are and have been traditionally. It didn't used to mean even using the word cholo or anything. The gangs used to be basically American gangs. I don't know if that's the case. I doubt that's the case anymore. But California was part of Spain's Mexican territories. So a lot of the American Southwest, there's plenty people of Hispanic origin, especially Mexican, and in some states like New Mexico, they have an actual, especially in northern New Mexico, they have actual blood of the conquistadors that came and settled the northern part of the state, and even to this day. So it's not unusual. It's just that now we've been influxed with the invasion that's coming, and these are the people actually who've been harmed the most. You notice that Trump got a lot of the Hispanic vote this time because they don't move into Beverly Hills or anything. They move into Chude or whatever that town's called. They move into those towns and everything. So yeah, Lady Tip says October 31st, 1938. And Lady Tip is talking about the Great Moon Hoax. I'll look that up. Because I didn't know that they had that also. Something like that in the UK. So, yeah, it's a weird world. It's definitely a weird world. Thanks for sharing that, Tom. That was really great. It just gets crazier and crazier. A lot of this has to do with sharing stupid things on social media. She went and deleted it afterwards. But What did she think she was going to accomplish by saying something like that? And Tom says, I do what I can. Yes, you do. You're so wonderful, Tom. I so appreciate it. It's just, using social media in an appropriate way. Yeah, I don't know about you. Just sometimes I want to post something in anger. And then I say to myself, I'm probably being stupid. There's a high chance that I'm being an idiot. Or I'm talking about something I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Maybe I shouldn't post that. So, she said, okay. She says that. So this lady here, this Latino lady in California now says she needs a lawyer. Yeah, well, I'm sure somebody will stop to talk to her. Whether they're gonna press charges, we'll see. But that's true insurrection. And she just didn't think about it. And Warren says, I was on Lotus Eaters, and people seemed touchy when I suggested Mexicans are bloodthirsty today, and their ancestors made human. Don't understand. Well, the gangs in Mexico sure the hell seem very bloodthirsty. But yeah, I wouldn't call the ones in the U.S. bloodthirsty, but the gangs where they decapitate people, it is so violent. And they just don't kill people, they torture them in horrible ways. It seems very sick. You have it in, Mexico, it's basically Lady Death. La Muerta, is that what her name is? And, it's very twisted. So there is like a death cult. It ties in with Roman Catholicism somehow, even though it's not officially part of Roman Catholicism. La Muerta, I can look up some of the symbolism, but it's basically Lady Death, basically. And it's tied in, and then when these cults get part of it, take it in, it basically becomes sacrificial. I think a lot of this. And I'm sure there's Hispanics that could tell me a lot more about it. But as soon as you cross the border, it becomes a very big thing and very powerful in Mexico. And yeah. So Santa Muerta, yeah, that might be it. Yeah, Saint Death. And Lady Death, basically, Saint Death. But there's a lot of iconography that's involved. And so yeah, so some of the stuff they're doing, in Mexico, where it's so violent, may be sacrifices to this, what they call the Saint of Death. So, Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, yes. And the cartel is spreading violence around the world. Yeah, so, if you're interested, I don't know much about it, but maybe I can do a study on it, and there's people far more knowledgeable on it, and I can show you some of the iconography and everything else, and do a little bit on it, and we can share it tomorrow, because it is fascinating. And like I said, all that violence, when it gets so violent in Mexico, isn't just for the sake of being violent. Lady Pip has talked about magic and using magic. I do believe they think they get power, so I'll do a little study because I'm not necessarily interested in it, but there's always something behind it. And being an evil vampire, there's always something demonic behind it, right? There's always something demonic. Let's see. Gang members pray Nuestra Señora de Santa Muerte. Yeah, the Saint of Death, the female Saint of Death. So, yeah, she's kind of like, Mary, but twisted into being, the Saint of Death, where you have Mother Mary as a saint in the Catholic Church. She's on the dark side, and she is worship. She is worship. She's part of the Day of the Dead festivities, and it's gotten more and more serious in Mexico. There was the Thuggies, I think, in India. The cult of Kali, who is in India, was the goddess of death, married to not Rama, Shiva. She's married to Shiva, and that's where we get the term thugs. For the Thuggies, they in the in the late 19th, it might have been early 20th century too, the cult came out, and what they did was, they didn't kill their own members. What they did was, in India, they came out and they killed other people as blood sacrifices to the goddess Kali. And they were called thuggies. And it was so bad, they were killing so many tens of thousands of people. The British Empire had to come in and crush the temples, crush places where they worshipped, and they had to go underground. There's always undercurrents, if you look into India closely, that they're still around, maybe using their own followers, but it was bloody. It was bloody. It was one of those things that, in this case, that it was good that the British Empire stepped in and crushed it. So I kind of see that with Santa Muerte in Mexico, as it gets more violent, that it's it's a callback to what's happening, what happened in India. Yeah, it's strange how female deities can often be used for death cults, isn't it? So, let's see. And Warren says they adapted the conquistadors' Catholicism in their own dark way. Yeah. Well, Catholicism didn't destroy it. It kind of blended all this stuff in, because you had the Day of the Dead. They go into Catholic graveyards, and that's been going on for as long as there's been a Catholic Mexico. So they kind of synergized it into their worship. We'll have less trouble if we allow them to have some form of pagan worship. So, a lot of Christian saints have pagan backgrounds. People don't realize it. So it's interesting to look into it. Like saints that were actually dogmen. It's interesting. I'm not going to go into that, and I'm not trying to be to teach anything about religion, but it's fascinating to look into some of that. And says, who can forget Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in India? Yeah, was that probably a temple to Kali? Yeah. So, that'll give me something to look into, and maybe we'll go over it. I'll do a little segment, and we'll look at some of the imagery, because it's very big, and I see it. I'll see it now in LA, and I'll see the like when they're having those riots and stuff, and the protests, I'll see people wearing Santa Muerte, iconography like on their jackets and stuff. So yeah, I'll do that. That might be interesting. Something to look into. Callie and all the thuggies kidnapping children. Yeah, it was mostly other people's children, wasn't it? Yeah. So it's my understanding there's an underground current of that even to today, because in the in that religion, the Hindu religion, worshiping all the gods is a valid thing, and she calls on blood. So oh well, I think when the chat is participating, I think this is the most fun because, like I said, me talking and trying to tell you about politics, you're just an empty-headed puppet. So when you participate, I learned about the Berlin fellow as a possible replacement. So that's what it's interesting. And then Tom shared this woman here, this weirdo. When he shared her, I find that more interesting than anything else. I didn't find this story. So when you all participate and share stories with me, it's wonderful. So I think this is the longest stream I've ever done on news stories. So let's call it quits. my head's emptying out even more as we talk. But thank you so much for participating. And like I said, feel free, even if you're not on X, join X and follow me, and feel free to DM me with any stories you might want to talk about. Because the more participation I get, the more I want to do this. This was probably only going to be a 20-minute stream originally. I got dry vampire mouth now. So thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for participating.